I'm going to address a question that I received earlier today. I know I'm supposed to love the Lord, but my problem is how can I love something that I can't see or touch, somebody I can't sit beside or go hang out with? It's hard for me to understand this part. It's not that I don't desire to, as I feel I need to make that clear. It's just that I don't know how to and if it will be real. I just don't understand it. The faster I can understand this, the faster I can move to my next step. This is a totally fair question. How do you love God? And the truth is that God is the only love in you. So how does that work? So then I pray for God to help me love him. Yeah, that's exactly what you do. I know that seems like a weird thing, but he's the only one who can help you to understand what it means to love him. Your relationship with God is based on three major things: obedience, submission, and reliance. Reliance means that you trust him and that you're not double-minded in your supposed trust of him. You're not subsidizing with other things just in case God is not God. You're not engaging in the work of your hands just in case he's not God. And so the word has already laid out what you are to do, who you are to be, has already laid certain things out. If you have a desire to love him, then rend your heart to what the word says, obey what it says, submit to what it says, and rely on his sovereignty. If you do those things, it's simply because God has put it in your heart to do those things, because the wicked don't have that desire to love God. They don't have a desire to submit to him and obey him and rely on him. If God put that desire in your heart, it's only because he's in you. But here's the thing. If he put the desire in your heart to do that, and you choose not to do it because it's too hard, and you choose not to return to him because, I don't know, any number of excuses, he will not continue to reside in you. He will go out, just like he did with King Saul, and his spirit will be replaced with a different spirit, a tormenting spirit, because you will have rejected the call. You know how he says many are called, but few are chosen? If you have that desire right now, do the things that the word tells you to do. Search the word so that you can know the things that you are supposed to do. Return to him in prayer and fasting, just like I tell you over and over on these videos. And know that if you don't do those things, if you don't do the things that he has said, return to me and I will return to you, he will eventually reject you. He will reject you. Hebrews 4:1. Therefore, since the promise of entering his rest still stands, let us be careful that none of you be found to have fallen short of it. For we also have had the gospel preached to us just as they did. But the message they heard was of no value to them because those who heard it did not combine it with faith. What's faith? It's lived. You can listen to every video I put out. You can binge watch my channel, and I don't think that you should do that. I don't think that you should be doing that. What I think you should be doing is discerning what videos do you want me to listen to, Lord? And you should be having a relationship with him before having a relationship with me and the channel. I'm shepherding you back to him. My desire is to build him up in your life. For we also have had the gospel preached to us just as they did, but the message they heard was of no value to them because those who heard it did not combine it with faith. Now we who have believed enter that rest, just as God has said. So I declared on oath in my anger, they shall never enter my rest. And yet his work has been finished since the creation of the world. For somewhere he has spoken about the seventh day in these words, and on the seventh day God rested from all his work. And again in the passage above he says, they shall never enter my rest. It still remains that some will enter that rest, and those who formerly had the gospel preached to them did not go in because of their disobedience. Therefore God again set a certain day, calling it today, when a long time later he spoke through David as was said before, today if you hear his voice, do not harden your hearts. For if Joshua had given them rest, God would have spoken later about another day. There remains then a Sabbath rest for the people of God, for anyone who enters God's rest also rests from his own work, just as God did from his. Let us therefore make every effort to enter that rest so that no one will fall by following their example of disobedience. For the word of God is living and active, sharper than any double-edged sword. It penetrates even to dividing soul and spirit, joints and marrow. It judges the thoughts and attitudes of the heart. I'm going to read that again. It judges the thoughts and attitudes of what? Your heart. Nothing in all creation is hidden from God's sight. Everything is uncovered and laid bare before the eyes of him to whom we must give account. Therefore, since we have a great high priest who has gone through the heavens, Jesus, the Son of God, let us hold firmly to the faith we profess. For we do not have a high priest who is unable to sympathize with our weaknesses, but we have one who has been tempted in every way, just as we are, yet was without sin. Let us then approach the throne of grace with confidence, so that we may receive mercy and find grace to help us in our time of need. Listen, if you have a desire to love God, if that desire is in your heart, then you need to go to God and you need to ask him to show you how to love him. I can't give you that answer. Only God makes us capable of love. God is love. He's the only one who can make us capable of love. Loving God means that you care about whether you're pleasing him, you care about whether you're in his favor, you care about what he knows is good rather than what you think is good. It's easy for you, what's convenient for you. It means that you're willing to suffer for him, just as he suffered for you, just as the Father gave his only Son for you. And so if you believe, you will obey. If you believe, you will rely. If you believe, you will submit. That's how you love God, with all your heart, mind, and soul. Every part of you needs to love him and submit to him. And he is able to make you do that. He is able to make you stand. Thank you for asking this question. It's an excellent question. And I hope that you will go to him and pray, because he is the only one who can answer this for you. He's the only one who can move you into that position. God bless you.